Hello everyone, this is Donovan Scott, once again with The Upload. I am very excited to bring to you something that's very near and dear to my heart, something we all struggle with, and that is dealing with the wilderness. Guys, what is the wilderness? We see it all throughout the Bible. Jesus went into the wilderness for 40 days. Abraham went through the wilderness. David went through the wilderness. Well, to understand the wilderness, let's look at the group of people that spent the most time in the wilderness. Who? The Israelites. 40 years wandering the wilderness. So guys, what exactly is the wilderness there for? Well, as we examine the Israelites, we notice they were leaving Egypt on the way to their promised land. But along the way, if you look at a map of how they actually traveled, you realize they went around and around and around in circles, unable to leave the wilderness. The question is why? Well, we see it in the Word of God. Every time that opposition showed up, that they were being tested in the wilderness, instead of relying on God, they once again fell back on the experiences of their old season, being in slavery in Egypt. In Numbers 11, the children of Israel said, "We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and onions and garlic. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes." This shows us that no matter what they did, they were unable to get that Egypt out of their system, that old thinking, that old way that worked while they were back in Egypt, but was not applicable to the time they had now. This means they weren't unable to step into the promise that God had for them until they completely got rid of that. Finally, when they're about to actually step into the promised land, they send out 12 spies. The spies go out, they're gathering information, they're sneaking around. They come back, and 10 of them say, "Hey, the land is great, but there's giants, and we look like ants to them." 2 of them, Joshua and Caleb, say, "Hey, don't worry about that. God's got it under control. We can do this." In Ezekiel, it says, "In that day I lifted up mine hand unto them, to bring them forth of the land of Egypt, into the land that I had espied for them, flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all lands. Then said I unto them, Cast ye away every man the abominations of his eyes, and defile yourself not with the idols of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. But they rebelled against me, and would not hearken unto me. They did not every man cast away the abominations of their eyes, neither did they forsake the idols of Egypt." Guys, don't get stuck in your wilderness. God's not moving you on to your promised land until you can learn the things that He has for you to learn. Until you can flush out the things that you learned in slavery and be ready to take dominion in your new season. The mindset that worked in Egypt wouldn't have survived in the land of Canaan. So guys, have a great day. Hope this sunk in, and God bless.
Cause you found me, I am yours. The way you love me, I will now explore.
Yeah,
I cannot be the same.
I will never be the same.
As your presence was away.
Yeah, you found me in a down knee. I was pushed so far that you moved me. I was lost in a rage, my faith was a way that was hidden in the cave. So much in my mind that was doubting. See, then what happened next? I was so perplexed. As the tears were rolling down my cheek, He said that I'm the best.
It was the arms of the living